So all you gotta do is just press, pull.
Take it in.
Yes!
Y'all, so we have the pleasure of sitting and talking shop with none other than
Dineva.
Home team. Dade County's finest. Dineva, y'all. I mean, when I tell you this is such a personal, and I mean, we hate to call it favorite because we do some great interviews with EstroHaze, but when I tell you this one is near and dear because we watch our Slack channel, got Dineva all running up and through.
Yes.
So we are here to give, to give. So.
There it is.
There it is.
Well, let's get together.
Let's get together. So, guys, to start this off, we want to know, I mean, we've watched you do this, and you've been doing this for a long time.
10 years.
Being a vlogger. I don't even really know how to refer to you because you seem like so much more than just a vlogger or an entertainer or a personality or an influencer, educator. You can even add that under your belt, I would say, because you educate the masses. I mean, I'm learning. So, we're learning. So, what would you attribute your longevity and your evolution as a media personality and a vlogger in this evolving landscape, right? Media, you've been doing this for what? That's how many years? 10 plus. I'll say 10 and counting. What do you attribute your longevity? Because we've seen people start with you and we don't see them
around.
Right.
You know, it's funny because I never really had to think about it, but being on the spot right now, I would say two things. I would say authenticity, number one.
Okay.
But number two, just being smart.
Okay.
Like, from an academic perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had to stick what I do in a box, in a genre, it would be the comedy genre. But there's only but so many times you can laugh at somebody slipping on a banana peel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's only but so many times you can laugh at a fart prank. After a while, it's not funny. Where's the mental fuck? You know what I'm saying? And that's the being smart part, being clever, being witty. So because I do have a wide array of worldly experience and knowledge, I'd like to say, I'm able to infuse that in my comedy. And I think because I have a brain and I'm able to infuse the intellect with it, people have stayed with me because not only are they laughing, but they're learning.
So what would you say, this, in my learning, I've noticed that I've done this right. This is what I've done right? And in my learning, this is what I've, through the course of these years, this is what I've done wrong. This is what I probably shouldn't do or I wouldn't do again. You're smart, but you're applying that intelligence to what? What's your smart decision?
So what I have done right, let me come back to what I've done right.
Okay.
But what I have done wrong is not trust myself and my own talent and approach things sometimes from the point of I need this person to like me or I need this connection with this person or I need to be in this entertainment social circle without realizing that my talent is my calling card.
Okay. So now
So I don't need no cosign from this person.
Can we touch and agree?
Okay. Because I had
going
this
there.
thing, right?
Okay.
I had this thing that I always thought if I courted Mona Scott Young or if I courted Bravo Andy, if I courted this person, that I was going to get a phone call one day and these very same people were going to say, here's that $1 million contract and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like when in this business, I've been broke and I've been, well, first of all, I've, worked with all these people and I'm thankful for it. It has helped give me some street cred for whatever that's worth, but it never paid anything. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about, which just because you see somebody on TV don't mean they got no damn money.
Okay.
But the funny thing about it is in the midst of never getting the job, never getting offered the talk show, the reality show, I had to always fall back on one thing, and that was Funky Dineva, and that bitch always got me through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she always got me through, and so it taught me It's not them. It's not these exterior things. It is you. And if you believe that God has given you a talent, because I personally believe God gives everybody the one thing they need to make it in life. Some people is looks, some people is brain, some people is they do hair. He gives us that one thing, and mine is my voice. And I had to learn through being in this business, when all else fails, it's this.
Yeah.
That's touching on something that's kind of near and dear to what we just started launching our own original programming with EstroHaze. And a part of the hesitance I know with myself and my colleagues who speak for themselves has been opinions. And I see you dealing with it. I mean, I look at your comments myself and just noise and just dealing with that conviction in your purpose and your voice and the strength of your voice. Like, how do you navigate the noise and let's, for lack of a better word, the fuck shit? Because you are a human being. And I noticed that even me, I think somewhere in me, I've been guilty of dehumanizing personalities and not realizing that they're penetrable too. You know what I mean? So how do you do it?
And
How
so
do
funny.
you remain true?
I get that question all the time, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people who are like coming up in social media and stuff, they ask me, they'll call me crying. And you know what? The first part of it is you get tired of crying.
Yeah.
You know, just on some straight up, not even I'm so deep, you get tired of crying. And then you have a conversation with yourself and you say, self, this doesn't seem to be stopping. They still saying it. You make the conscious decision to stop letting it bother you. So that's number one, right? And then number two, I don't know, I think I just lean on the fact that I know what I'm doing, I'm good at what I do, and the fact that I'm still here. So it makes me just, you know, and then three's fun. I'm somebody, I done been through some shit in life. So I had to realize, am I really finna let Margaret in her cubicle in Montana, you know, really upset me? Now, I will say this, I am human and we all have insecurities. I'm not finna sit up here and be like, on some days it don't hurt. When my defenses are not at 100% and I'm vulnerable, i.e. maybe I got into an argument with my dad or something, or a family member or a loved one, so my defenses are kind of down, then I go read that stuff, it makes me want to ball up in a ball and cry sometimes, especially when it reaches one of your insecurities. We all have them. And if you've got thousands and thousands and thousands of people throwing darts at you, one of those darts is going to be right. But what I've learned, and advice to anybody out there, throw out a decoy upset. I never respond back or publicly respond to when somebody actually hits one of my insecurities, because universally it makes them continue to go there. So I'll pretend to be mad that y'all call my dog fat and have you thinking that that's what makes me mad. So in the minute somebody gets mad with me, that's why your dog's ugly. Okay. But that's the bigger part. You just get tired. And you say to yourself, like self, like we finna cry about this for the next 15 years, or we gonna get thick skin and get immune to it. And that's really what it is. You just get tired of crying.
What are some of the tools you use to get immune to it, though? You know, like
tired of crying. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something else too that I learned. And you never know where you're gonna pick up something that'll help you later in life. I had to be about maybe like 11 or 12 years old, and Janet Jackson was on Oprah. And I didn't even watch the Oprah show like that. It was too adult for me at the time. I was into like cartoons and shit. And I remember Oprah saying to Janet Jackson, "You're always on the cover of tabloids. How do you deal with the negative things people say?" And her response was, "I just don't read it." And I never thought at 11 years old, 12 years old, that I would why do you remember that? That's the most random line of anything to remember. And now at 35, it gets me through. The thing about it is, with social media, I've been doing this 10 years, or even after a year. How many times do I need somebody to say, "Oh, you're funny"? Like, I know what people are going to say. So I stop reading it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't go places that I know people are throwing darts at me.
So in not reading, I wonder how people navigate that in terms of not reading, but still garnering feedback, because you do
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
know what's hitting and what's
You do.
landing and
Yeah.
what. So how do you get that? How do you filter through the BS to get to that valuable feedback that you still do need, even though it's not a compliment, even if it might be something that's unagreeable with who you are, who you think you are, how you think you're presenting yourself?
You peruse.
Okay.
I peruse, and at this day and age, I'm not even perusing for me. I'm perusing to make sure nobody's being bullied or nobody's being whatever.
Yeah.
I peruse to get the general tone.
Okay.
If after I get the general tone, 75% of it is like, yeah, you hit the mark. Because sometimes I peruse and they'll be like, Dineva, you didn't do your research on that. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, I made a big mistake with the Nipsey Hussle video that I did. It was kind of tied to Nipsey Hussle because I rushed to judgment about something.
Yeah.
And I perused and I got the tone. But the other thing, too, is filtering.
Yeah.
Like, I filter because I've got some counterparts in the business who allow other people who they know do not like them pop up in their feed. Why you let your competitor stuff come up in your feed? So I block my competitor and I block anybody in my circle who will have their stuff pop up in my feed. I have people call me. Matter of fact, I got a call today that said, Marlo Hampton did a video about you on her YouTube. I didn't even know. Because she and I are not friends. We once kind of were.
Right.
And her stuff is so far removed from my feed. You've got to protect what you ingest.
Yeah.
It's so easy, it seems, to get attached to the like, get attached to the views. With you being on YouTube and your finances being attached to that, how do you remain emotionally detached given that you kind of need to be liked in order to make money? You kind of need people to fuck with you in order to really...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the blessing for us, people our age, is that during our formative years, there was no social media.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? So I
That's a blessing.
think that I'm winning in that regard by default, in the sense that my self-awareness and my being and who I am was already built.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was built. It's not like I got the magic trick and I'm immune to it. I just think what I got going on, me at my core, was already built. And, you know, when you're a young, you know, black gay boy from the inner city, you know, growing up and being called faggots and sissies and gay and getting beat up, like I developed thick skin before the social media came out. And so I tell people, though, on the flip side of things, there are some opinions that can cut me to my core.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those are from the people in my immediate circle or people in my lane who I look up to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those people, their opinions matter, but just the booty chatter from just... It just really, I don't know you. And, see, and I'm a very logical person. Going back to what I said about Margaret and her cubicle in Montana, like, you got to ask yourself, this lady is in Montana. She will never see me. I will never see her. Why in the hell am I letting a DMV worker from West Bubblefuck, Idaho, make me feel anything about myself?
Yeah.
I got a question. Just jumping off of that and seeing you over the years and seeing you do a full like evolution, beach yoga, and just the way you have been or were dissecting Ayala Fix My Life is the way I sit at home and go, exactly, that, why would we even think? And you bringing that to your audience, and I think helping inform them in a different way. What has been the response to that? And how do you continue to build your audience while you undergo your own like transformation?
That is a very relevant question, because like my life is caught up right now in like evolution and transformation. So the beautiful thing about Funky Dineva is the duality of the character, right? I have two audiences. I've got the slip on a banana peel audience, which is strictly, they don't even know what they laughing at. They laughing at the wig, the theater. Yes, God! Yes, God, honey! Yes, God, Nessa girl! That's what they're laughing at. Then I've got my second audience, which is the intellects, who might chuckle at the theatrics of it all, but they're listening to the words and they're getting it, or they're catching those historical references, so on and so forth. So, you know, when it comes to just my evolution and trying to maintain both audiences as I grow, it is hard. And I realize that you can't serve two masters.
Yeah.
You can't. You just
can't.
can't.
You better say it.
You just can't. So the reality of the situation is, following the trajectory, I am growing in a direction in which I'm going to lose that slip on the banana peel audience, and I am okay with that. I'm okay. I'm okay with that because, you know, I want to sit in this space. And again, going back to God gives us all what we need to survive and be who we're supposed to be. That'll be worked out. There is an audience. It's just not these people anymore.
Yeah.
I loved y'all, and it's great, but now I gotta come over here and play with these girls that perhaps didn't know me for the last 10 years.
Right.
That want that.
Right.
You know, but you gotta be, I gotta be me, and you gotta, you know, and that's the only way this works.
What would you say drives you and leads you? Because if it's not, you know, the likes, you are very self-aware. I hear you talk about, you know, your faith and God and blessings and things. What keeps you grounded?
My freedom.
Okay.
And so I am freedom oriented. I've been delivered from chasing success, chasing the American dream. I gotta have a Benz, I gotta have this. I was a corporate accountant, okay? And for 9 years, and I was fucking miserable. I wanted to slit my wrist every day going to work. I was broke because every dime I made, I spent on the weekends in an attempt to try to live the life. You know what I'm saying? And then I had established a life at that income level that would not allow me to go start over in a career that I would like, because I got bills up to here and that career only pays down here. I fucked around and got fired, and it was the best thing that happened to me. In that firing period, I got evicted, my car got repoed, and when my car got repoed, all my stuff was in it. And you know, they give you the option to go back and get the stuff. I was just so spent and over it. I just left the stuff there. So that was like 27 years worth of life was all taken away from me. And I was sleeping on my best friend Jonathan's floor. And I just had an epiphany that said, you see how you stayed in that job all those years to hold on to that stuff that somebody took away from you.
Just like
quickly.
that.
Just like
And I'm sleeping on his floor, making $1,400 a month in unemployment. Because I was like,
good
but
money.
I was like,
Good
but
money.
I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm watching him get up and go to work every day. And I'm like, I'm gonna go give me a piece of pizza. And like, we live in a walking area. And so, no, but y'all felt great.
Yes, you did.
And so it made me realize this.
Weight was lifted.
I was like, this is the life. So then it just made me realize that you don't need all of that.
Nope.
So what keeps me grounded is protection of my lifestyle.
Yes,
That's the long answer to the short answer. The one thing I care about the most in my life is my freedom. And I always tell people, if what I'm doing today or tomorrow goes to hell, I would never go back to corporate America. I would actually do one or two things. I would work part-time at Target and live in the efficiency, or I would trade in my car, get a skateboard, and live on the beach and be a bartender 3 nights a week.
But you'll still have your freedom.
I have my freedom.
That's the bottom
I
line.
have my
That's
freedom.
the
So that's what I want. I don't want money. Like, you know, I don't. Some people do, and I'm not, you know, whatever. To each his own.
Exactly.
I don't need I drive a Honda Civic.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? And I could afford to drive at this point anything I want, but that stuff don't mean nothing to me. My freedom.
What would need to be done? What would make God at the end of the day, God or whoever you serve, even yourself at the end of the day, you know, you done did your duty and you laying it down for it to be like, you know what, Q, well done.
Yeah.
What is your well done? What would be a life that is
That's
well?
so,
What's a life that's well done, Q?
My nighttime talk show. That's what I want, and I feel like, you know, we all have weird idols. my parents were divorced, and so my dad would come get me on the weekends. He was a correction officer. He would get off of work, get to me in Carroll City at about 10 o'clock. We would get back to North Miami to his house about 10:30, 10:45ish. Arsenio Hall would always be on. So I just remember watching Arsenio Hall. And then this white woman came into my life named Chelsea Handler.
Yes.
Chelsea, like,
Yes.
I just love her. And then, you know, Wendy Williams is also somebody who moves me because I've occupied that gossip space. And so I've always said, those three people fulfill me in a career sense. The one thing that would make me feel good is a nighttime talk show. That's the cross of the three. I want the musical guest component of Arsenio Hall. I want the comedy and intellect of Chelsea Lately with the gossip and the tea of
Okay, all right.
And then I'm going to have to add a fourth component to that now. I'm going to have to throw Ian Levans in.
Hey!
Have a little, you know, I said, you know, this is the first time I've ever added the Iyala thing. So just, I have to add
That is perfect.
It's always the three. And it's funny though, because for a while I was beating myself up because I was like, damn, you should be further, you should be closer to it. But it wasn't until I got on my spiritual journey with the yoga and everything that I realized you're not ready yet.
Yes.
You see how I just added a fourth person? I literally just added Iyala. It's
awareness.
exactly.
Thank God.
It's still being.
And can we just add why? How did you know that was what was missing? That was a link that needed to be.
I'm deeply interested in it, number one. And then number two, that is who I feel I'm becoming in my videos.
Yes.
And then number three, that is who I am amongst my family and my friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm that person that's preaching compassion and, you know, well, yeah, I know she's a bitch, but she's not a bitch because she woke up and she's going to be a bitch. She's a bitch because something happened to her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I do feel that another advantage and why I've been able to exist in this world, we can't quantify it, but I can feel things people can't see. You know what I'm saying? It's a sixth sense. It's something that is actually getting stronger and stronger each day, and it scares me because sometimes like I think like maybe I'm a witch. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know how like I was watching Sabrina the other day and I was like, I have this power that, and I know I sound crazy saying it now to people, but I can feel things other people can't see. You know what I'm saying? And so and I'm learning to try to hone it. You know what I'm saying? But I think honestly and truthfully, skip the gossip, skip all that other stuff. That is what God put me on this earth to do in this talk show media space. This weed got us in here deep. I'm like, as deep as this weed.
Let's talk a little bit about your consumption or lack thereof.
Okay, so
Are you a weed consumer? If so, when did you start? And what do you like to do?
okay, so never did it in high school.
Okay.
My roommate Reggie in college would do it, but I guess I was smoking wrong in college. I was just taking it in, but not inhaling it because I never got high.
Right.
So because I never got high, I was like, this is stupid. So like I would just do it to look cool with everybody, but it wasn't a thing for me. About the last 3 years, really since I got back to Miami, but the last 2 or 3 years, I was like, you know what, I've started smoking it, and I was like, you know what, this is all right. But I'm gonna say this now. I like the traditional way better than the vapes
Ditto.
or a bowl.
That's my favorite.
A bowl. Now I don't know how to roll, but my friend Kai taught me about the raw cones.
Oh
So I break it up and put it. I got a roll, or I put it in a raw cone and spin that bad boy, and then it's done. The edibles. I got some bad stories with some edibles, so you know you eat them, and you don't think it's hitting. So then you
And
get
it
another,
shows up.
and then you be so high, you be like, God, just make it
Bring it
go
on down,
away.
please, Lord.
I like. They taught me I like the sativas. You know what I like that you can't get no more. I like the old school weed that make you giggle. I just like be like a giggly little school. I had it one time in California. My boy Todd gave me some sativa, and I was just like giggling. Matter of fact, it was on my Instagram before they took that account some years ago. But I like the giggly weed, but I do like an edible with a warm bath and a glass of wine. That's what the edibles are good for. I don't necessarily like having a body high when I'm out in public, but getting there with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen now, so we've had a mini session here, but we have to reconvene for another session.
We will. I love it.
With Dineva and EstroHaze. I mean, you dropped quite a few nuggets.
Thank you.
Here, I mean, just some things we've been dealing with on our own, just trying to launch these shows and having our insecurities and needing to be in the forefront, but scared to be in the forefront because of what's out there, but knowing what you're calling and knowing what you need.
You know, I think age-wise, I really do think age-wise, our entire age demo is probably in the same space. And what's unfortunate is we don't have a lot of shows and media outlets to help demonstrate how we're supposed to navigate kind of where we are right now. That's kind of like why I like Insecure so much, because it's like the only show I can watch and I'm like, that's me.
That's me.
Versus what Living Single probably was for people our age in the 90s, and we were like in middle school and high school, whatever. So it's hard. We've had no roadmap to this awakening you come into at this age.
But you're providing one. And before we leave, I want to touch on something that you did that really made me call it, that said that you're an educator. We talked about this as a group too. That was real practice what you preach. Real like, this is the course, y'all. This is one-on-one. And we're going to talk about you recently got met with the biggest internet group that you don't want to go against. That, you know what I mean? And I dare to utter the name.
She talking about the beehive.
But the way, the grace.
The grace.
It was that you handled that. That is when you knew you were mastering this shit. It's like, it was so you addressed it. And you kept it moving to the point where, did it happen?
Right.
That right there. It's like that showed why you have this late night talk show. That's a part of it.
You know what that was too? What I realized just through my own experiences, like I personally feel like I have an above average self-awareness, right? And so, and I've got an array of experiences. I felt a barrage of emotions before, and I know what it has required for me to overcome some of those emotions and what I have wanted from somebody else who put me in pain. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware of what it is I wanted. I wanted acknowledgement. And not just some old blanket, I'm sorry. No, sorry for what? Then I want you to address what it is I'm feeling. Then I want you to prove to me that you understand why I am upset and not just saying this because American society says that's what you do to pacify somebody. And again, it's that heightened self-awareness that drove me to be able to apologize in such a way that people were actually able to receive it. What people do not understand, and I think it's a gift that has been socialized out of us, I think more of us relate and connect on the heart level than we're even aware of. And if you can just give out that authentic energy, people feel it. And they felt it because it was sincere. And that's why that went away. And I'm still working. You know,
authenticity works.
That was huge.
It does.
It was so huge, and a lesson in crisis management.
Absolutely.
That was crisis management. When I was like, oh shit, Olivia Pope,
master
it was a master of that, and I
Thank you.
learned. Like I said, you've been an educator because I learned.
but when it's genuine, like get out your ego.
Get out your ego.
Like you fucked up, like you did, and you hurt some people. Like handle that. You and it does. And what I realized too, because with that ego, a lot of people feel like, and based on their insecurities, if I admit to doing something wrong, then I'm flawed and I'm this and I'm third. No, I'm human. That's not the first time I did something wrong, and it will not be the last. It won't be. And it don't make me a bad or fucked up person. I just fucked up for those 10 seconds. And so I'm not afraid of being wrong, and apologizing actually did not hurt me. It helped me. You see what I'm saying? So people realize it actually makes you a better person when you're able to say, you know what? I did. Because then it just, the thing about it is too, you take the other person's power. If you just want on some 48 laws of power shit, I take your upset with me is power over me. But when you talk to somebody's heart, it dissipates.
Yeah.
They can't even, if they got any level of humanity in them, they can't even, you can run over somebody's mama with a car. And if you apologize properly, they just might embrace you and pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it is.
Right.
People like to feel.
Yeah.
People like to feel. And it's not a gift or an awareness that we should take advantage of. Either you should always be genuine, but if you can make people feel, you can make people move. And that's just what it is.
Guys, that's branding 101. For your companies, for your
If you can make them feel, you can make them move.
You can make them move.
Yeah.
We see
And that goes against their religious convictions, what
Yeah.
they've been taught,
Yeah.
what's best for their marriage. Like
Yeah.
if you can make people
Yeah.
feel, you can make them move.
So if you ain't got a word today, you ain't gonna get it. It ain't out there for you guys. So again, this has been another in session with EstroHaze with none other than Q Latham / Funky Dineva / the man himself / the educator / the next Arsenio Hall.
Y'all saw us touching
Y'all,
the green.
we touching the green on that. Till next time, y'all be authentic, keep it groovy, and be great, y'all. We EstroHaze, I know.
That's right.